was a letter from the State Department's Department of Defense Trade Controls, and it said, we're conducting a review to see if the information or technical data you placed online was in fact ITAR-controlled technical data. And ITAR is a set of regulations that govern the export of arms under the United States Arms Export Control Act.
And was it?
No, they're still conducting the review. And in fact, I'm invited to participate in the process.
Oh, are you?
And of course, I probably should. So we're going to see if they have the power to regulate it or not.
Okay, so what is the penalty for that?
Well, it depends. A lot of the, if we're talking criminal or fines, civil penalties or criminal penalties, but I mean, a lot of the violations are based off of like specific intent. So they'd have to show like, well, you intended to break ITAR, and it's a big regulatory, brouhaha. It'll probably take a long time to get to the bottom.
What I'm struck by is what our Constitution says is that there are certain rights. In fact, our Declaration says it as well, clearer. But there are certain rights that you're given by God. Huh. And so that means not just Americans. That means we accept them as a country, that all human beings are given the same rights. You're equal. And you're all given the same rights. And then the Constitution limits the government's right to do anything to those rights. It handcuffs them. So they give you the right, they say, you can go ahead and print a gun. But then the State Department, to stop you, says you're exporting an idea. You're exporting technical data. So the State Department is actually coming out and saying that these are only American rights. These are not universal rights. They're only American rights. And somehow or another, that it is their job to police our freedoms, not a dictator's job to police their own internet. Shouldn't we be saying all these rights belong to everybody, they belong to God? And if China doesn't want them, then China should restrict their access to people. Why is our government restricting rights for someone else in another country?
Okay. Yeah, so I think it's the legal answer, and then there's the real answer. And the real answer, I think, is this was a political response to too much press, and I think techno-libertarianism scored too many points over the weekend that we released the gun online. Right. And we had been sharing those files for some time. And then the legal answer is, yeah, they've claimed that, well, it's in the national interest for national security purposes.
Yeah, but wait. You're following national security. I mean, you've printed it according to code, right? You know that you had to put a metal piece in it, so it wouldn't be able to take it into an airport. So there's no harm coming to American citizens here, right?
That was actually even just an act of goodwill on my part. The license I got didn't require me to put that metal in there, but I thought it would be an even bigger debacle if we didn't put the metal in. So that was my kind of gift. But no, that's a set of firearms laws that we were dealing with. Now we're dealing with something about information and your right to share information with other people outside of geographical boundaries and political boundaries. And so we're there now. It's really not so much about the firearm as it is about what can be put into the public domain and how.
Sharing ideas and what we're allowed to share in here. Our government is now taking the position that it is their responsibility to protect the rest of the world from ideas that come from Americans. That's insane.
That's one way of talking about it, yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Hang on, back in a second. That's